Alright, we are recording.
I need sausage and eggs.
What?
Sausage and eggs and biscuits and
Right.
grits. Right now I'm hungry.
No. I have one word to say that, and that's no. I got too much to do today. It is 10:13 and you're talking about...
All these starving children you've been hearing about your whole life, they ain't in Africa. They ain't here.
You're not a child.
Y'all heard that. She said no. And to just say no was about drugs. Not about feeding me.
See, now I don't even know what I'm going to say. We're back. Oh, it's like starting over. We are back. So if you follow our socials at all, you realize that our Starlink died.
And you
It
don't.
went into a coma, like
you
literally.
You don't realize how dependent you are on something until it's gone. Because we don't have any other source of TV or anything like that. So, for what was it? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
It was 2 weeks.
Yeah, we couldn't watch TV or anything. So
Couldn't get any work done. I mean, a lot of what we do requires an internet connection for the computer work. So obviously couldn't upload videos. So it's been...
it was quiet.
Yeah. I hate to admit that we're dependent on that, though. I really do. But it's the world we live in.
It didn't really bother me. It affected them bad because they're addicted to everything.
That's a
TV.
lie.
Didn't affect
Even the
me at
kids
all.
did okay. They did more outside. They went hunting. They honestly sat on the front porch. I should have got footage of that.
Yeah.
Just shooting pumpkins. Just shooting off the front porch. Something they couldn't do back in Georgia. They're doing it here. So I believe though, and I said this to you, there was a reason for that disconnect. I really think that God had a reason for us to shut down because it caused me to. I did a lot of reading, a lot of thinking, and a lot of extra praying. So I mean, I really think, because I knew there's a lesson in it. If God's allowing this, knowing how much we need it, and He always provides what we need, and I feel like we need internet just for the task of the day, but we had to realize that we could make it 2 weeks without internet and without television, without access to social media, because we couldn't even, we couldn't really scroll through Facebook. If anytime y'all saw me post on Facebook, it's probably because I was off the mountain or up at my mom's. So being here, there was no checking in on social media, no checking emails.
Yeah, you couldn't get a text out or nothing from here.
We could text a little bit,
If
but
you was just standing in the right spot on one leg with your tongue sticking out, yeah. Kind of like the old days when you had to go adjust your antenna to watch TV.
yeah, it was touch and go as far as getting a text message out, but there was not any phone calls for sure. So yeah, I think there was a reason for it, and I prayed and was like, I don't want to miss the lesson. So I think that I needed, the reading that I did stirred me a little bit, got me thinking about some things and thinking ahead to some things, and caused me to pray about some things a little harder. Yeah, it got my wheels turning on some stuff. We'll talk about it later, but and my kids, they got outside. They stay outside, don't get me wrong. They are outside kids. The boys love being outside. But it was raining that day when they would decide to go outside and shoot. It was raining.
Yeah.
Didn't stop them. They sat out on the porch and was shooting pumpkins and whatever else might have dared to cross their path.
I'm sorry, it's 30 in the 30s, so I got to turn the heat down some.
Why?
Because you keep it stifling.
That made no sense. It's in the 30s. You're gonna turn the heat down?
It's because it's in the 90s in here.
We got a fire burning right behind y'all. So.
And if you see me keep looking at it, I'm addicted to it. I can't stop staring at the fire.
And he turns it down knowing it's cold outside and I'm freezing. Speaking of cold, what's it going to be tonight?
27.
27.
Yeah.
We got our first round playoffs in football today. It's Friday and it's 27 degrees tonight. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
Y'all haven't attended a football game until you have to carry Mr. Heater with you.
And a blanket.
And a blanket.
And a
and
boggin.
hand warmers.
Oh, yes. I can't wait to show y'all my electric rechargeable hand warmers that my precious brother-in-law and his wife sent up here. We gotta tell them the story about how you met Shane.
Yeah, we should one day.
Yeah, we'll do that. We're gonna do a video of that story. We'll ask Shane. I wonder if he want to get in on it.
That'd be good.
Jeff has a brother that they're only 10 or 11 days apart,
Yeah.
and they've only known each other for like a year and a half.
And I haven't spoken
Or 2
to
years,
him.
2
I haven't spoken with him since Starlink went down, so I need to call him.
Yeah. But anyway, if you're watching, thank you. We love you.
I
I'm
haven't
excited about my hand warmers tonight. I just dug them out of the barn, and we are ready to go today.
And I haven't forgotten about you. We've just been up here where there's no internet.
Yeah, we've been on lockdown up here, technology speaking.
It's not a bad thing.
So about the Starlink, let's talk about that for a second, because I know we've had thousands of people watch our Starlink review where we unboxed it and installed it. We've since done updates talking about whether or not we still like it months into it. So now that we've had this experience...
So let me ask you a question. Does this change your opinion of the Starlink service since we had such a problem?
Let's talk about the problem. Then I'll tell you how I feel about it.
I'm right here. I'm the problem.
No. It was frustrating. It just went down all of a sudden. I think it was Monday 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Almost 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where it just, it was working fine the first half of the day and then suddenly just stopped. It went, and if you look at the app, those of you that have Starlink and you have the app, that way you can kind of keep track on obstructions or whatever, it said disconnected. See, we've had offline happen before.
Obstructed.
We've had obstructed happen before. And those things would literally be 60 seconds or less. We would be used to that. It was still in beta. I think beta's over now.
It's over. It's gone live now. Like
Well, I think.
Worldwide.
Well, we understood that, gave them grace because we knew it was beta. It was in beta, and besides that, it was still better than any other options.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it just died, and it went into disconnect. Like, that was really, we had not really seen that before. They had done that a couple of days prior, and then came back on, so I figured it was along the same lines of being offline or obstructed. You didn't stay down long, but this time it went into disconnect and stayed there.
Yeah, and I noticed.
Stayed there.
I noticed that it wasn't drawing on our batteries at all during the night.
Just a reminder, we're all solar here, so Jeff is constantly checking batteries to see the power pull.
So we would go to bed and the batteries would be full, and we'd wake up and they'd still be at the same level.
Because the Starlink does draw it down some, not dangerously low, but it is noticeable. We need the sun to come up and recharge when it runs, because the Starlink and the refrigerator are only things that run all night, other than some fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, from the time we go to bed to the time we get up, we can notice a draw on the batteries because the Starlink is on all night, the refrigerator, and like I said, the fan. So we started noticing it wasn't drawn down much at all. So
it doesn't really draw that much anyway. It just, they weren't going down at all. So
it was that raised our questions, and now I'd wake up the next morning and be like, it's still disconnected. We're still down, because I really thought something's going on. They're working on something. Everything's been so good, and I was like, oh, they'll have it fixed. It'll be back up. Wake up, it's not there. Next day, not there. So I finally had to get in touch with support. And I said, we've been down for over 24 hours, so is there something going on, or is there a problem on our end? Yeah. I gotta say, Starlink customer service was on top of things.
Oh yeah, they were awesome.
It took them a little bit to answer the first email, but it was still same day, I believe. And
it was.
I think they maybe just had to look into it and assess it. What they did tell me was, or there again, it could have been because I had to get to a signal to be able to.
Yeah, that may have been what it was.
that was frustrating too, having to contact customer service or support, and when I would be home, I wouldn't know if they were answering me or not. So I'd have to leave or go up the hill to see if there's a response. But what was I going? Gosh, Trey just jumped the track.
Frustration from having to leave to get a signal.
Okay, so yeah. Anyway, support though. They were able to kind of look at it. They said the receiver was still responding to the satellite, communicating. That's what they said with the satellite, but for some reason nothing was coming here. And so they taught me how to troubleshoot the router. So we went through that, connected it to a computer directly from the cable.
The feed coming from the receiver into
into
the router.
The computer.
Yeah, into the router.
Bypassing the router to see if the router was the problem. The router was not the problem. We don't even know what the problem was. They had me go through some motions.
I have my thoughts on that. When I ran the cable through the floor and then ran the floor covering over the top of it, I didn't get it exactly lined up, and it had the cable kind of bent over, and I think it may have, over time, with us walking on this floor cover, it's just a floating floor, so it moves a little bit. I think it put pressure on the cable, and it kind of maybe broken one of the wires inside the cable.
Okay.
Over time.
Well, I was thinking that would shut power off to it altogether, though. They said this receiver was still communicating.
It may have just been either a power supply line from here to there, or it may have been a communication line from there to here.
Oh, okay. Well,
because everything was still lit up like normal, like it's supposed to be.
So we're not 100% sure. It may have been us. It may have been something. It may have been something else. But either way, I will say that support was great. They even called me to talk to me about it. They walked me through sending them the debug data that you can access pretty easily through the app. So I could send that to them. They could read that and see what's going on. They could not figure out the problem, so they sent us a new kit. So we're sending the old one back. That's going back to them. I'm sure they'll refurb it and make it good and whatever, because that's what we got is a refurbished. Now I will say we hooked that up when the day it came in. We hooked it up. It was great that afternoon, and then the next morning it disconnected on me for about an hour and a half. I got panicky. And see, there's another thing. If it was us the first time, then why did it disconnect the second time? The new one.
I don't know that.
So.
But you rebooted it and it's been up ever since.
Well, I unplugged it for a few minutes, plugged it back in, thinking it would reset itself.
Yeah.
It's usually the first thing you do with electronics. So that didn't help.
After you say it's got a shortage in.
If Mama watches this, she's in trouble for that. She's in trouble for that. That's my mama's go-to thing. It don't matter if it's electronic or not. If something's wrong with it, it's got a shortage in it. I've heard her say that since I was a kid. But anyway. So it did go down on me for an hour and a half the next day, and I got a little concerned about that. But I did the reset button underneath. We've been fine ever since. I actually did email support again. Look, the new kit's not working now either. I might have panicked a little too soon. They were kind enough to say, we are so sorry. I mean, they really were apologetic.
Yes, they were. Customer service is good.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say their support team is on top of things. Very kind, very, very helpful. And even when I didn't know, there's one thing they asked me to do, I was like, well, I will be happy to do that, but you're going to have to tell me how, because I don't know. And they're like, oh, of course. I didn't feel stupid. Yeah. I don't like to be made to feel stupid when I don't know something. And they were like, they taught me through step by step. I don't know, they wasn't laughing at me from wherever they are, but
yeah, they looked.
But in the email, I didn't feel stupid.
Well, they looked at the service address and said Tennessee, and they was like, yep.
So far we've been good. So we are happy to be recording again.
Yeah.
We've been talking about in the downtime, talking about what we were going to talk to y'all about. We probably should have had a backlog of videos ready for y'all, but honestly, in the downtime, we made sure we took the downtime for what it was. Yeah. So like I said, I was reading. We still got football going on with one kid. The other one finished football and now he's in basketball. Yeah. So we took the opportunity to realize that there's a reason for this.
Yeah,
we don't believe that anything is coincidence or by chance, so we took the downtime for what it was.
Yeah, and everybody knows that life gets kind of crazy and fast-paced and hectic and stressful sometimes. And we also know that God in His Word, He tells us to be still and to just know and to listen.
Yeah, I mean, as frustrated and fearful as I was, because there's a lot of things, like I said, we do that requires internet. I'm like, we can't. God, you know, we got to do these things. What is going on?
Yeah. You know, I kind of think,
be still.
I kind of relate it to like, I can tell her something over and over again, and she won't know what I'm talking about. It's because she don't listen to me. We were just talking about it this morning. She don't listen to me, so she don't retain what I'm saying.
That conversation did happen, but it was the other way around. Let's get that out there. But carry on.
But, you know, if you put yourself in, from God's perspective, He tells us things over and over again, and we're so busy and we're so caught up in what we're doing with sports, with just everything.
We're running constantly, really.
We don't catch it because we're not listening. So, you know, this little bit of time off, and it was quiet, you know, and I couldn't tell you how many times that I would just pick up my phone and just look at it and then be like,
oh yeah,
ain't gonna work. And we all done that, and don't laugh because you know you would have done it too.
Don't be judging.
That's right. But
even the kids, I'm proud of my kids because they went to bed earlier.
Yeah.
They talked more. I ain't saying they got along the whole time.
Yeah, we sat and we'd listen to music at night.
Oh yeah, we did.
We
We broke out our little speaker and we listened to music together.
We talked about the music, and we even played games with the music one night. So.
We
trying
did.
to guess what the song was.
Yeah, we did.
So it was.
We had some good family downtime.
Yeah.
And honestly, the television wasn't a thief of our time or our attention for a while, and social media wasn't a
Sometimes you don't realize how much time you actually give to technology. It consumes you at times, and hours were taken. It was taken away from us for a little while. So.
The more we talk about it, the more I realize there's more lessons that even
there was.
Yeah. So I don't want it to go down again. I will say that, but at the same time, I don't want the lesson to be wasted. So I'm going to take what I read and apply it. I'm going to continue praying over the things that came up in my heart when I had that quiet time.
Yeah.
Forced quiet time. I mean, I have my quiet times in the mornings, but I get up, I get it done, then I move on to the next job. And this was more of I'm here by myself all day.
Got to turn it down again.
Well, I'm here by myself all day, trying to figure out what am I supposed to do. I can't even communicate with the outside world, really. Well, God's here. He doesn't need a internet connection for you to speak with Him, and so it was a good time in that sense. So I don't blame Starlink. I believe God allowed this for a reason, and when He decided that our restriction was over, were we grounded?
No, we wasn't grounded.
When He decided that we could have our technology back, then Starlink was ready to help us. So I feel like a kid. It's like God took our technology from us for a couple.
That's a good thing sometimes.
But so anyway, back to the question. After that incident, how do I feel about Starlink? We're good. I really think that this was more of a sit down time, and I think that there's still a chance that it might have been an error on our part, but then again, it may have been faulty equipment. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever God used to shut it down. But I don't blame Starlink. Their customer service, our support team was
great.
Was amazing to us, and
really no questions asked about sending out a new unit, getting us going again. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're good. The service. Gosh, have we updated them since we moved? We did talk about the trees getting moved out and all that. We already talked about that, right? Maybe
a little bit, yeah.
We're going to take y'all around where we had the land cleared and show you that. But we had a lot of, because I know we didn't get to do that yet, but we did have a lot of trees cleared out, and there's the tiniest little bit of obstruction from behind us that we hadn't had cleared out, but it doesn't affect anything. Yeah. You can see it if you're looking at the app, and you can see where the obstructions are. You can see that a little bit of tree line but it's very small, and it's really not. It's not hindering anything. We haven't even had any. I don't think we've had too many breaks in the service at all. Really. Speeds are good. Everything's good. So we are back, and we are glad to be back. And I hope that we take the lessons we learned and keep applying them, so we don't need a whatever that happened again. Yeah.
And we've had a I guess it's been a lot going on really since last we were able to speak with anybody or to put out anything. With Focus on the Family.
Yeah, they know about that.
Okay, I didn't know that.
My hair's
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we talked about that in the last one. Focus on the Family. Y'all know we did the video with them. Now, what I am finding out is they recorded for like 2 days. The whole hour time might have been a little over 24 hours if you start from the time they got here to the time they left. But they got a lot of footage. It's going to be a short film, so I know he had to edit a lot of things. Yeah. We intend to tell our full story for you guys. Yeah. But I'm excited to see. I know the first draft is almost finished, so I'm excited to see the preview of our film that they're doing. But we will do our story. Coming up in the next couple of videos, it will be our story where we just sit down and talk with y'all about our background.
It'll be more in depth. And also, again, if there's any questions after that, just feel free to ask.
Yeah.
And we'll answer, and we're always willing to share what God's done in our life, how He turned our lives around. So.
Yep. We did some more painting outside. I need to show you that. We got the porch floor painted. If you may remember from previous videos that is two-toned because we had to combine the old side with the new side, the original cabin with the addition. So we painted that, stained the post. We're working on some corrugated metal underpinning for the front. So it's coming together, starting to look a little more like a. It's still a shack. It still looks like a shack.
It's a cabin.
It is definitely still a hunting cabin, and I'm okay with that. In fact, my son he killed a deer the other day. He's very excited about that. He wants to. We're gonna hang their guns and their bows and arrows up over there.
Their muzzle loaders. I
feel like we'll keep that original side. I want to keep the feel of this place for what it originally was. So I told them they could pretty much have that side where their loft is, the original 12 by 12 square that this once was. So they can hang their hunting equipment. And there's no room for a mount. The boy wants to, there's an 8-pointer on this property somewhere that he's done spotted. He wants to kill that thing and mount it. He won't be worth shooting if he gets that.
Well, he's done said if he does, he wants to donate it to Highlander, so it'll be hanging in there.
I wonder how that works, but... Yeah, he can't hang it here. There ain't no room for that. But we're going to let them... I'm letting my boys have their side. Now, the kitchen's mine. So, I'm going to hang up my pretty signs and stuff like that over here. This is where the heart of the home, this is going to be...
I get the outhouse, yeah.
Yes, Jeff gets the outhouse.
Do what I want
Rightfully
to with it.
so.
Do what I want to with it. Coldest toilet seat you've ever sat in your life.
Wow.
It's when it's 20-something degrees and you go out to use it.
I've told him he could use the inside toilet in the winter. He's just stubborn and wants to act like he's being abused.
I am.
Don't believe a word.
She abuses me, y'all. Help.
So yeah. So and Camden has also been stocking my freezer with. We got a dove and 3 squirrels, I think.
Yeah.
2 or 3 squirrels.
Yeah. They killed more doves, but they left them laying in the woods when they was deer hunting, and come back and they were gone. So.
Yeah, they fed something, just not us. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Camden has already got he's putting together a recipe, so he's going to cook the squirrel for y'all. Mm-hmm. If you're squeamish about such things, don't watch that one, or watch and have a bucket close by.
Oh, it ain't.
Squirrel's actually good though. We do eat it. It's not just I'm not just saying that. We were eating that before we were hillbillies, so we were doing that before we moved to the mountains. But yeah, so he's stocking us up with squirrel, and I mean, if things get crazy, my boy will be able to feed us, I'm sure. Little brother's going hunting this Saturday morning, so maybe he'll get something. What else has been going on since we've been away?
Basketball started. We're in the playoffs for football, so
yeah, we're excited.
That starts tonight.
Yeah. So yeah, we've missed y'all. Hope you've missed us. Thank you. We had new subscribers in our downtime. That's pretty cool. We thank you for that. All of you new people who have decided to subscribe, even though we've been gone for 3 or 4 weeks. Well, anyway, like I said, we're glad to be back. We still like Starlink. We are shipping the old one back, and hoping this one, the new one, is good. So, if you're still on the fence about Starlink, I say still go for it. For rural, our words are hard, rural areas, this is your best shot. Yeah. I really think so. I mean, I can't say I've tried all the options I've heard of other places, but to be honest, in my research, even the other providers for areas like ours, I can't say that word again, out in the boonies areas like ours, they're not performing well. So from our experience, I'm still gonna say Starlink tops the list.
Oh yeah, always.
Even with the problem that we had. So yeah, so go for it. I would do it soon, because you may have to wait months to get it, because I think the popularity is picking up, and there's wait times in certain areas. They're capping off certain areas while they work on getting more out. Yeah, so
filling orders.
Yeah, so in case you're on the fence about it, see the availability in your area and go for it. So we appreciate y'all hanging on for us, and we are going to be right back to a regular schedule. I've promised them that so many times. We got to be for real.
Well, we didn't. This was out of our hands.
This was, but still, we got to be consistent, because that's what matters. And thank you for listening to us carry on and just talk to y'all. I hope that wasn't too boring, but we wanted to kind of catch up with y'all and tell you where we've been and what's been going on and what we learned from it. So we hope to see you guys very, very soon. We are already planning ahead for the next. We're trying to decide which one we're going to put out next. I think is either going to be the testimony video or the homestead plan. Yeah. We do need to get that out before the weather gets really bad.
So give us your feedback. Tell us which ones you'd rather see first.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Comment below and tell us if you want the testimony next or the homestead plan and walk through and the cabin tour next. We'll put all that together. So we're planning out the homestead where we had land cleared. We can walk y'all through and show you what we've done and where we plan to put things. Or the cabin tour once it needs to be cleaned. Or the testimony video. So take a vote in the comments and let us know, and we will go by that. But either way, you're going to have a video next week, Lord willing. And the creek don't rise. So, alright, well, we will talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. We love you. Thank you for being patient with us, and we'll see you next time. He's over there right now.
Nice pitch. Good pitch. Good pitch.
Takes the pitch from number 13, Cam Peppers. And he smashes his way down close to a first down.